Alright.
Hi,
Episode
everybody.
3. Oh.
Episode 3 is always my favorite
It's
episode.
always, bro, it's always the one that hits different.
3's all, bro. We just might as well make 3 the fucking deep episodes.
Yep. Instead of the 3, 6, and 9, it's just going to be 3.
Well, somebody's got to cry every episode 3,
Nah, I don't know
and
if
I cried last time, so
it
it's
ain't
your
going to
turn.
be. I already cried over this scenario that I want to talk about, so
Well, cry again. It's your turn.
I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see how deep it gets. Um, so the thing I want to talk about is all based around like perception, like how we see the world and how other people see us and shit. And I have a story. And it happened. Well, it's not a story. It's something that happened. And
A fable.
bro. It fucked me up, and I don't know why it affected me so bad. But I literally had to like pull away from the job site, go to a place where I was all alone, and just fucking feel it. Like there was no other getting around it. I just had to go do it. But
Bro just walked away.
I did, bro. I did. Well, I mean, I finished what I was doing there, and then I left, and I was like, all right, I just need to stay alone for like an hour.
Yeah, I'm taking an early lunch. I'll be back, y'all.
But so here lately, we've been getting a lot of jobs around schools and stuff. So there's like a lot of kids present, and so which is kind of it's not weird, but I mean, it just whenever there's kids around, it's weird. But I was I was chilling there, and I see, everybody was like, it was during like when everybody was dropping their kids off at school and shit. And I seen this dude walking with like what I assumed to be his son, and the son was like crying and shit, and obviously didn't want to go to school, whatever it was.
Same.
And and mind you, this is probably like a 5, 6 year old boy. Like this is like he was real young,
Right.
and I guess the dad like got upset and he sort of raised his voice at him because the kid was like not trying to go and he was just standing there, and he got upset and he like raised his voice and he yelled at him. He's like, come on. And the kid just immediately started crying harder, and I was like, damn, okay. Like in the moment it was like whatever, it's it's whatever. But after he did that, the kid started walking, and the guy looked over his shoulder and he looked directly at me. Like we made full eye contact. We didn't say anything. We didn't like. I didn't do anything. You know that I literally just looked at him. But the dude made full eye contact with me, and the kid like reached up to be picked up, and so he picked him up, and he was walking him to the school, and he got like the way that the school is. There's like a gate, and you walk in the gate, and then you're like on school grounds or whatever. He got to the edge of the gate, and he like just kind of stopped, and then he turned around and he walked all the way back to that same spot where he yelled at him. And then when he did, like his whole demeanor was different. Like he was like talking to him like normally, like trying to cheer him up, like trying to be like it sounds bad, but trying to be a halfway decent father. He like I guess
Right.
he
Bro, hit the rewind button.
that's exactly what he did, right? And I watched this whole thing. I guess I maybe I was just staring hard as fuck.
Bro was being
I guess
nosy.
I was, dude, because like I'd seen the whole thing play out. I watched him walk to the end of the gate. I watched him walk back. I watched the whole interaction when he got back. He was like, instead of being like upset and shit or whatever, maybe he was late for work. I don't know, but he uh he was like trying to make it a game. He was trying to like, all right, let me race you to the school kind of thing. Just trying to cheer his
Right.
son up. And then, you know, they turned around, they both walked back to the school, and everything was fine. But like, it hit me hard as fuck because, well, two things. One, it reminded me of my son, and it made me think of like, damn, did I ever do that to him? You know what I mean? Like, did I
Right.
ever like scream at him like that? And I'm sure I did. You know, when you become a parent, you're bound to raise your voice. It's almost a guarantee. You're gonna raise your voice. But I want to believe that because me and this dude made eye contact and he knew, hey, somebody seen me. I want to believe just me being there made him like rethink his decision. But I also want to believe that he would have done that if nobody
Anyway.
was there.
Right.
Yeah, so it put me in a weird kind of like, not really a weird situation, but a weird mindset for the rest of the day because I was like, fuck, dude, like, because the guy didn't do anything wrong, right? Like, it wasn't,
Yeah, he wasn't hitting his kid or nothing, you know.
yeah, there was nothing like inherently wrong about what had happened. He just sort of lost his temper, or maybe he didn't handle the situation the way he needed to. But he, like you said, he fucking got all the way down there, walked all the way back, and hit the rewind button and was like, all right, let's try this again. Like, maybe I fucked
Right.
up. But it made me start thinking, like, because he's seen me, it made me start thinking, like, how many of our, or how often do we change our actions based on the fact that we know people are watching? And how much other people's perception of us affects how we are as people, like affects our genuine character.
Right.
Dude, I don't know, man. It fucked me up. Like I said, I had to step away. I was out for like an hour. I had to just go feel it. And I really don't
Bro
know what to.
rethought his life decisions off of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it did. Like it really made me think. Like it made me think a lot. And I was like, I remember feeling like sort of helpless in a sense, cuz like I mean, I couldn't do anything, but like there was nothing for me to do anyway. So,
Right. I mean, he didn't do nothing wrong anyway. It's like
right, that's what
that
I'm saying.
wasn't
Like,
really your place to do anything anyway.
yeah. And then the thought of like, oh, well he seen somebody yell at him, so he wanted to change it. And then that sort of fucked with me and it was like, well, would he have done that anyway? Was it
Right.
because of me that, because of me just being there? Was that why he changed? Like
Probably
what was it
not.
for? Well, I want to hope that it wasn't. I want to hope that like he would have just been like, all right, I fucked up. Let me fix this. I want to hope that
Right.
that's the case.
I mean, yeah, he probably would have, just not the way that he did it. Probably would have just done it differently, you know, like apologize to him or whatever, and then let him into school instead of going back and redoing it.
No, yeah, he literally it's fucked up, dude. Cause you called it to a T, bro. Literally hit the rewind button
He did, bro.
and fixed what he fucked up, or how he made his son feel.
Right.
And dude, I don't know, man. It was so thought provoking. It was so there was just a lot going on at that time.
Yeah.
And whenever there's like kids involved in anything, it's just if you have kids or you've been around kids for a while, you raised them, or even your siblings, you have younger siblings, you you start to get that sort of soft spot because you realize how helpless they are in a lot of situations. Because, well, one, they didn't choose to be here,
Right.
and two, they can't like protect themselves the way that we can.
Yeah.
But
Well, and
like,
even in the worst case scenario, I mean, look at the size of you versus the size of your son. You know, what the hell is he gonna do to you?
right? I mean, there's
Like,
some like,
sadly, to say it that way, that's fucked up. But like, yeah,
I mean, yeah, that yeah, it's. I mean, it's a reality of it. Kids are just more fragile than adults. That's obvious.
Right.
Well, I hope it's obvious to most people, but um, I don't know. It just got me thinking of like how much how we see the world, like how we genuinely see the world.
Yeah.
And I was even, yesterday was supposed to be my day off, and they needed some help at this like event thing. So I was like, all right, I'll go and I'll help or whatever. And it was Oktoberfest actually, and
Not even October.
well, yeah, they do it early because a lot of stuff happens in October.
Yeah.
But they started at the end of September.
Right.
But there was a lot of kids there and shit, and there was a lot of families, and it was like a little carnival almost. And like I was looking around and I had the same shit in mind. Like all of these parents brought their kids out here to have fun and whatever, and I was like, I wonder how they are different here now that they're in a public setting than they are, if they were just
That's the
alone.
thing. You never fucking know what goes on behind closed doors, you know?
I know, and that's like it's what sucks too, because like if you want to help people and you're like genuinely serious about helping people, you don't know when they need help unless you see
Hmm.
it.
Right. I say that shit a lot about like when people talk about celebrities and shit. They're like, "Oh, that's a good dude." I'm like, "But is he though? Like, is he actually?"
Yeah, like you can't tell because of you watched a handful of interviews and you see their
Right.
movies and shit.
Or you see him on stage or whatever, and you're like, "Damn, he's a good guy. He interacts with the crowd, says this and that." And like, okay, but what if he does go home and beat his wife?
Yeah,
Like, we're not gonna fucking know. And
yeah, you'd never know unless the media popped off on it.
I mean, let's hope it's not that worse, but I hope it's
Right.
not that
Let's
bad.
yeah. Let's hope for the
But
best case scenario. We always want to
I
hope
mean,
for
fuck,
best.
not even that. He could be going home and just being an absolute piece of shit to his family, you know?
Or maybe he could be stuck in this like self-loathing stage where it's just he hates himself. But you get up on stage and you
Right.
get in front of people and it's just like, oh,
You gotta
hard
be the
work.
good guy.
Yeah, hard work and persistence. You can make your dreams come
Yeah.
true and whatever. Like
Well, not
nobody
only
really
that, like
knows.
you see it a lot with streamers, like big streamers, big content creators, talking about like good PR. They have a
Yeah.
fucking PR team telling them like, "Hey, you got to be this kind of person in public if you want to continue to be successful." Like when you know you have eyes on you. Which I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, you should just be a decent person regardless. Like shit happens. It's not gonna not happen, but you know.
Yeah, I think it's really important for people to realize, especially if they're going to be talking to anything about anything to the world, not just their close friends, but just to any random person. You have to be genuine all the time. Like you can't
Hmm.
you really can't put on a mask in a sense. I mean, you you can, but like it can't change your like core character.
Okay, but like a little deeper in that for my point of view, I guess. I don't know. For me, like anybody that watches me play video games, and then the same people that watch us do the podcast, I'm a different person, quote unquote. It's all me. It's all the real me. It has always been the real me and will always be the real me. But you're not gonna get the jokes and stuff that I do and say in here. And that's like a slight mask that I put on. Like I just
Well,
push the jokes to the side, you know?
that's the difference in that is just sort of like reading the room, right? Like you know what
Yeah,
setting you're in.
exactly.
So, I mean, that's a little
Exactly.
different. Like you're not going to
Yeah.
act like you would at lunch with your friends as you would in a business interview.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
we have a a specific set of persona that we can change into
Right.
depending on the situation. Like you're not gonna be the same I mean, you're gonna be the same person, but you're not gonna act the same way all the time.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, like, even you can vouch for me. Not that anybody needs to fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Validate my actions, but even you can vouch for me. I'm this. You get the real me on stream versus in person.
Yeah, yeah, it is pretty consistent
Yeah.
with
Now, of course, when I'm
real
playing
life.
games, like I push it a little further for content, but
Yeah,
it's different. I want to have funny moments. I want the people that watch me to enjoy watching me.
I think the thing that I'm kind of referring to though, why am I getting all of these notifications all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Like stop. I'm busy.
You ain't done nothing, and now that you're doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me though, or the thing that I'm kind of referring to is like the difference between when someone is watching versus when you're alone or
Yeah.
you assume to be alone.
Oh yeah.
How much how because like when you're alone, that's like your real self. It's like
Yeah.
when no one else is around, you're not talking to anybody, you're not doing anything that involves anyone else. You're just alone.
Right. And that's why I mentioned like the whole celebrity thing, or like just anybody like that is remotely famous, like has a name for themselves. Like you're only gonna see what they show you, you know?
That's true. And I mean that goes for pretty much anybody.
Right.
You're only gonna see what they allow you to see.
Yeah, you can go to the same gas station every day, but the person behind the counter is only gonna show you what they show you,
Yeah,
you know?
and they might be on autopilot, you know,
Right.
so it
Like
might
the
be
the
not
one
really
I go
fake,
to,
but
the one I go to all the time, shout out Tracy. She tells me a lot, but I don't know everything. Like I think she's married, but I'm not sure. And if she is, I don't even know her husband's name. Like, but like none of that matters. Like, just kind of scan my shit and give me my cigarettes so I can go, please. I gotta go to work. You're at work.
another question that pops up in my head is like how can people be more comfortable being themselves in public without and I mean being their like genuine self in a public scenario without having without having to worry about like what people think like at the end of the day like we choose what we care about and what we want to like put our time and energy into
Right.
and if you have a friend group that doesn't accept you as like your genuine self then they're not your friends, you know.
You
That's
know, it's
it makes sense to us but a
it's
lot of
crazy
people it
because
doesn't.
um that question, right? I was like halfway doing that when we went to Louder Than Life the past weekend, last weekend,
Hmm.
and Saturday and Sunday. And I'm like, everybody's here having a good time, doing this, doing that. Like everybody's doing the same exact shit for the most part, listening to the same person because we're all standing here looking at them on stage. And yet, I kind of feel weird if I'm also like jumping around and shit, even though people are doing way more than me. But I'm also
Yeah,
just not that kind of person. Like I just want to go to the show and enjoy it, like pop my head a little bit, what have you. But that's about it. I don't want to be all fucking. I can't be all fucking crazy and shit like that anymore, dude. Just them 2 days, bro. My arm still hurts from it. My fucking knees felt like they were bent backwards for 12 hours. Like, yeah, I can't be that crazy. But I was still thinking, like, why do I feel weird, like, throwing my hand in the air when everybody else is doing it? There is, like, at least 10,000 people here doing it,
doing the same shit and well and
which more than 10,000 people. But yeah.
it kind of goes to like it kind of goes back to the thing of like um I don't remember the exact term, not off the top of my head, but like if like the bigger the lie, the more people will believe it, kind of thing. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like the more people that do it, the more you believe that it's okay to do, whether it's okay or not.
Right.
You know, and I mean that could be. It, we could dive into that more, but it's like you said, if you see 10,000 people raising their hands up, and you're just like, well,
I'm not
let me
doing it.
raise my hand up. Like now I
Right.
feel weird. Now I feel like the outcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then
But
I still have that weird feeling where I'm like, the person behind me is looking at me like, this dude's fucking weird for
what?
putting his hand up.
So I sort of felt the same thing when I went to EDC. Um,
Yeah.
and it was like, cause I'm not. I like going to concerts and I like going to shows and shit, but I'm not the. I'm not like the loud person. You know,
Yeah.
I like to sing and whatever, and I'll jump around and whatnot. But
Yeah, I vibe. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, like I'll feel the vibe, but it's never it's never like too crazy than to what I would do in my
Put that mop back
bro.
on. D and D.
The shit's pissing me off, dude. And there's one particular person that texts me that doesn't know how to send one message. He'll send a
Yeah.
million of them because he's just like send,
Me.
send, send.
Me. But I don't need to send you multiple text messages right now.
No, bro, it's like he can't get his thoughts all out in one text and proofread it and then just send it.
Nah.
But what was I saying? Yeah, like much of like how I act at shows and stuff like that isn't much different other than like the vibing with the crowd, like feeling the energy.
Right, just having a good time. I mean, that's like a good time to fucking decompress and just fucking do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sort of go all
You
out,
know,
like be
especially for something like Louder Than Life, with how much it fucking costs, you better make the most of that. You know,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
it was like six something, like yeah, let's say like $600 for us to go 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now, hear
cuz
me out. Anybody that doesn't know what Louder Than Life is, we didn't just see like one or two bands. There is a shit ton. Like, look up Louder Than Life and just look up the lineup of any year, and it is a list. It is 4 days of a bunch of fucking bands. Little bands, big bands, huge bands, people who just started.
yeah, it's a fire show and I would
We actually got shouts out Knocked Loose. I don't listen to them. Shouts out Knocked Loose though. Hometown band, you know, nice to give our city a big name, an even bigger name than it already kind of is. But yeah, they played this year.
I wish I would have went, bro, or been able to go rather.
Oh, I fucking wish you could have, bro.
It'd have been sick.
Had a good time. You've seen some of the videos. Had a great time.
Yeah, and I seen some of the like the the media footage, the media coverage of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's been some about two specific bands. There's been some hate from the fans, but
they're
one
always
specific
getting
band, their fan base always gets hate just because of how most of them are. And the other one is just mainly just how they were acting there, but you know,
it is what it is. These artists
it is.
do hundreds of shows,
Yeah.
a month.
Well, I mean,
So
look, I'm not gonna like say no name band or anything. Not calling out one singular person because it was multiple fucking people. But like, you go to a specifically like rock music, heavy metal music. I mean, like they had like, if anybody's heard Slaughter to Prevail, you know what their fucking music sounds like. That shit is like heavy as shit. He's screaming all the time. This isn't like emo music, you know what I'm saying? But uh these people were in the crowd complaining that people were crowd surfing and just letting them drop and get hurt. Like, one girl went to the hospital because it cracked her fucking head open, and y'all just don't care. Well, we want to enjoy the show, and so do they. And them enjoying the show is crowd surfing, so they get that little second of being inches from the band.
yeah, that well, I mean,
That is just bullshit for, you know.
that's just speaks to the character of a lot of different people that I don't want to say the group as a whole, but a lot of people that go to shows, they don't
Yeah,
understand the culture of when you're at a show and how it is
especially
like
something like that, you
you're
know.
supposed like the whole point, well, not really the point, but an unspoken rule at a lot of different shows is somebody falls, you pick them up immediately. You stop what you're doing, you pick them up.
Yeah.
Or if somebody gets hurt, you immediately get some type of like medic or like You know, you get somebody over there to help them or get them to safety, shit like that.
Oh,
You make sure everybody's good.
that same girl that ended up in the hospital, it took medics like 30 minutes to get her out of there
That's insane.
because they just weren't helping.
That's insane.
They weren't moving, they weren't stopping the show for it. Like, and in turn, that's just gonna give the band a bad name. Like, oh, well, they didn't stop the show when such and such got hurt. It's like, well, they didn't even know they got hurt.
And that's the thing too, is like I don't ever, and so it took me a long time to come to this because of, I'm not gonna go into it. I'll just mention it because the whole Astro World thing, that whole tragedy.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to come to grips to the realization of like, it's not always the artist's fault when the crowd,
Right.
when someone in the crowd gets hurt. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
saying no more than that because we're not gonna fucking dive into Travis Scott and all this shit, but
Right.
it's not always their fault because sometimes maybe they don't know.
Yeah, they
Secondly,
don't see it. I mean, when you got so the specific band that was playing, there was like it was their biggest show, and they had like an estimate of like 82,000 people. You cannot see everybody, dude.
I was about to say, like, going back to the whole topic of perception, right? Like, when you're on stage, you have a different viewpoint than, like, people assume, the people that are in the crowd, they assume that, oh, because they're on stage, they can see everybody.
No,
That's not the case.
they also it was dark outside when they played.
Yeah,
So
that's hardly ever the case, that they can see everybody and they can pay attention to everything. They're trying to perform, they're trying to do the job that they were there to
right.
do.
Not to mention, I don't know how many security guards there were up there, but let's just say there was 20 at the gates. 20 versus 82,000 people, and then
Right.
you've got, let's say I think there's like 4 people in that band, 5 people in that band. You got 25 people versus 82,000 people. You're not going to see everybody.
Yeah. That a lot of injuries at shows and stuff like that can, I don't want to say the blame can be put on, but it could be, there definitely could be a better result or less injuries with better event coordination. Yeah.
Well, also just, the people next to you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then just people just being genuinely good fucking people, like,
Right. And that's why I love some of the people that I listen to where they're like, you see like videos of them on shows and they're just like, hey, like if you see some shit, stop us, whatever, we'll restart the song. It don't fucking matter. Like the song doesn't fucking matter.
no, but
Because at the end of the
yeah,
day, if somebody gets fucking hurt, they know it can make them look bad. So
not
like
even,
they don't want that to happen anyway. Like be a good person and just help the person next to you. You've been
yeah.
standing here for 12 plus hours next to this person. Come on now.
Yeah, you can't say that you haven't. Well, I don't want to say you've built some type of connection, but like they're here for the same reasons you're here. Like,
Right.
don't ruin their experience because you want to be a dick.
Yeah,
You
and I would
know.
hope the person next to me would fucking help me up. Which
Yeah.
actually, I kind of, I kind of did do some shit like that. I know it's like a little bit off topic, but when we watched the last band that played on Sunday, which was fucking beautiful, mind you, uh, we went over. So we were at the main stages. There's just two big ass stages with a big screen in the middle, what have you. But the people I wanted to listen to played on the right, and then I also listened to the people that played on the left, which was the last band, but that was more my wife's shit. But as soon as we went over there, there was a group of people that were, uh, I want to say they were younger than me, but that was just because they were smaller than me, but they were probably about my age, you know. But it was two couples, and the two girls kept sitting down. I mean, rightfully so. We were like far enough back that I could literally stand hands stretched out and it really not fucking matter, you know. But with all the people walking in and out, I'm like, all right, well, one's sitting down, the other one laid down for a while, and I'm not gonna let somebody fucking walk all over her and step on her and shit. So I just stepped a little bit to my left and just started blocking people. And my
Yeah.
wife kept pulling me back over to give me some room, and I'm like, no, like I'm staying here because this girl behind me on my left is laying down. I'm not letting nobody fucking step on her. It's dark
Yeah.
out. Nobody's looking down. So I'm just forcing everybody to my right. Like, nope, you're not going to my left. Go to my right. I don't give a shit. You can hit me and then go to my right. How about that?
Yeah. Dude, it's little shit like that. If people think that big and I'm not even referring to um, shows anymore, but it's little acts of kindness like that. If everyone did something like that every day, the world would be a
Hmm.
much better place.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not something that it didn't affect you to do that in
Mm-mm.
any way, shape, or form. It didn't take time out of your day. You didn't spend any money. It didn't make you
Yeah.
a like. It did not affect you at all to just
Yeah.
position yourself in a different way.
Right. Which somebody did mean mug me because I stepped right in front of them and they tried to go to my left. And I was like, nope, that way.
Yeah, like now don't get me
You can be
wrong.
mad
That's
all you want, but
don't get me wrong. Shit like that is probably there's somebody probably out there that gets paid for that. But regardless of getting paid for it, like you're saving someone
yeah.
from a possible injury.
Right.
And
And
you may never know if it was going to happen or not, but at the
right.
same time it's like, well, I'm going to make sure that the chances are higher that it doesn't happen.
Right. And the thing is too is like she didn't know I was doing that. And if she did, then it's not like I was like, "Hey, I got you." Like I'll make sure nobody steps on you. I never said shit. I just did it. And then
Yeah.
not only that, but like I don't know if like she feels sick right now. She's got something wrong with her. Like I knew she was okay because I watched her sit down. I watched her get up. I watched her lay down for a while. So like I knew she was okay from my perspective. But like I don't know, she could have something that like fucks with her every once in a while. Like she gets bad vertigo and it lasts like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So like yeah, go ahead, lay down. I'm not fucked up about it.
Hmm. I mean, dude, that just goes to show that like presence means a lot.
Yeah.
Just being like your presence, and that's not to don't take my words and be like, well, I can just fucking I'm because I'm there, I'm important, right? Like no, like
No, I'm not important at all.
well, collectively, right? Or like individually, humans are very. I'm not gonna say we're unimportant. That's not the thing, but we have very little effect on like the grand scheme, but we
Right.
have lots of effect on the things that are immediate to us,
Yeah.
right? So we're important in the sense of like obviously life is important
Right.
and we have that, but it's the small little things that we can affect
Yeah.
that really make the biggest difference,
Right.
and just being somewhere at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's it. You don't even have to say or do anything. You just got to be there.
Yeah, because that girl didn't never said a word to me, doesn't know my name, doesn't know who the hell I am, doesn't honestly probably doesn't care who I am, you
Yeah.
know. But I cared enough to be like, all right, I see you laying down, I got you. Like,
Yeah. No, I mean this is too easy. Like I literally
and
don't
only
even have to do
because
anything.
right, and mainly because I mean, even like smaller shows where you go to like a venue and it's like say like 5,000 people, there's still people that want to take a little break and rest for a second or whatever. And then there's still just a lot of people who just don't stop going, don't pay attention, don't care about nothing but themselves. Like, you know,
Do you remember Vernon Lanes?
mm, sounds familiar, but
Um Down there about where I used to live, a little bowling alley.
mm, yeah, 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 yeah.
Um there's a small little like venue underneath that bowling alley.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've
And
been
I
there.
mean, yeah, it's tiny as fuck. There's poles everywhere. I mean,
It's small.
it's a horrible venue for a big band, but for smaller bands, you can let probably maybe a couple hundred people in, and everybody can enjoy the show. It won't be like it won't be hard to breathe type shit. But
Right, right, right.
I went to a show down there one year, and it was a I don't want to say it was a small band. I mean, it was a pretty. It wasn't a mainstream band, but the same concept sort of like applied, right? Like it's fairly hazardous venue. You know what I
Right. All
mean?
these poles, all these people.
And the stage is literally just 2 steps, and that's it.
Right.
And you're immediately so what I've noticed, because I've been to small shows, I've been to big shows. What I've noticed is the smaller the crowd, the more likely they are to help people who get
Yeah.
hurt, or like
Yeah.
who are more likely to get hurt,
Right.
because they're like, I don't know, the ceilings are probably like maybe 9 foot high, if that.
Yeah, you can almost jump and touch the top.
Right. So I remember a lot of people uh, picking up or pushing shorter people to the front so they can see.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, dude, there was only like a couple. I was lucky to get in. There was only a couple hundred people that was there. But a lot of, yeah, we just sort of collectively decided that the taller people were going to be in the back and the shorter people were going to be in the front so we can all enjoy the show.
I love when people are considerate like that because that happened a lot in life for us. Because I mean, I'm kind of tall, like I can see over a decent amount of people, but we had some people that were kind of tall. Well, the girl wasn't very tall. I could see over her, but you know, my wife's not. But
Yeah.
her boyfriend, husband, whatever the hell he was, they like stepped in front of us, and we were far enough back again, like where there was just a there was a gap between everybody, you know? Nobody was crowd surfing where we were because we were that far back because I did not want to go all the way up there. But they stepped in front of us. The dude looked back and he goes, "Oh shit, my bad." And then he stepped behind us.
Yeah. That's happened a lot, dude. When I was at EDC, there was this one guy, and so it wouldn't have been so bad if he wasn't a dick about it. It would have been
Right.
different. But we were all up at the front, and if anybody knows what EDC is, it's a massive fucking show. It's got like 5 stages. It's much like Louder Than Life, right? Like,
Yeah, just different kind of music.
yeah. And uh there was this one guy, this was towards the end of the show, like the headliner was about to come on, so everybody was like trying to push to the front to
Yeah,
get the
they want
good
to see their
spot.
favorite artist.
A lot of the people that we were there with, the like not the ones that we knew, just the ones that we were around, we had all been there for hours, right? Like
Right.
we were
Yeah, you're
standing
beat.
there for hours, and we were holding our spots. Like, we don't have. It's not like assigned seating. You're just a bunch of people standing in a crowd.
Oh yeah, but like I stood here first. You know what I mean?
Right. And so we were already like bunched up together. The only space that we had was kind of like what was in front of us.
Yeah.
And there was this one guy that was trying to like just, push his way to the front. And me and all my friends sort of built this wall of bodies with ourselves. And it was like,
Give fuck.
and he kept trying to like get through it. He kept trying to like penetrate the wall. And every single one of us turned around and said, "No, dude, go somewhere else." Like, everybody in
Right.
front of us is already good. We're not pushing forward. Everybody
Right.
behind us is cool. They're not being dicks about it. You're the only one that's doing it.
Right.
And we made sure that like whoever was behind us could see. And then like I remember there being like, because we were in Korea, so like everybody's much shorter than me. I'm
Yeah.
fucking 6 foot, and everybody's like 5'5" and shit like that.
Right. Yeah, you're seeing over everybody.
Right. So if there was a couple or whatever that was like much shorter than me, I'd be like, all right, yeah, you can stand next to me or you can stand in front of me, whatever. It doesn't really
Right.
affect me. The crowd kind of moves on its own.
Yeah.
But this dude just kept being an asshole, and like every person, because we were there with 5 people. We had this fucking wall set up of people, and then the stage
Oh,
was
yeah.
here. And every person he went down, everybody was like, "No, get fucked." And then, "No, get fucked. No, go somewhere else. No, bro, get fucked. Leave." Like,
Yeah.
you have plenty of room to move back there. Like, don't crowd us like that.
Right. Yeah, like it just being annoying for no reason.
Yeah, dude.
Like I get you want to go up there, but like quit trying the same people. Like, all right, they're not letting me through. I'm gonna go a different route.
And realistically, you didn't really want to be in the front row because they had fire, like flamethrowers,
Yeah.
for their pyro, and so when the beat would drop, those fucking that fire would shoot up in the air, and
It'd be
that
hot as hell.
even from where I was standing, dude, I was standing maybe a good like 15, 20 feet back,
Oh yeah.
and it was hot, dude. Like it hurt my face. I had to put like a bandana over my mouth and like sunglasses
Hmm.
on and shit.
Oh, dude, we were quite a distance from Bad Omens, and every time they did pyros, I could feel it. We were far. I mean, there was easily 1,000+ people in front of us,
Yeah,
and I
dude,
could still feel it.
it's man, oh, it makes me
You
want to
just
go to
feel that
another
heat
show.
wave.
It's a good
Yeah.
feeling when you have a crowd that really cares. Like
Hmm.
I've been to ICP shows, and they are some of the most respectful fans.
That's crazy you said
Some,
that because that's one of the
some,
bands where the crowd's getting bullshit from Louder Than Life.
really.
Yes, they're not all of them, but a good majority of their fucking fans are just dickheads.
It may be different now because I went back. I went. Shit, it's probably 10 years ago now. Fuck.
But I guess it's also like part of it is a lot of us at Louder Than Life are probably not really listening to them, or more
Hmm.
listening to like Bad Omens, Bring Me the Horizon, like
Yeah.
a lot of the mainly straight up rock bands, and then you have two different fan bases in one
Clashing.
crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but yeah, there was like 6 fights while they were playing.
Well, that doesn't surprise me at all.
No, that's the only band that I have heard of that had any fights happen while they were playing. Like more specifically, while they were playing in the crowd of people watching that band.
Yeah.
Not just like some bullshit happened at one of the fucking food tents.
Yeah.
I never heard nothing about none of that. I only heard about just like the 6 that happened.
See,
Supposed.
it's different now. Their fan base has changed a lot. But like when I would go to their shows, it would be a lot of like I don't want to say older people, but yeah, they were older. They weren't
Yeah.
they weren't like super. I can't even say that.
Well, I mean, I've gone to a couple back in the day, and they were most people are cool as fuck.
Yeah, they for the
But
for
I
the
think it's
majority
just
they looked out for other people. Like it wasn't like
yeah, I think it's just the younger people that are like our age that listen to them now.
it's that sort
Because
of
every time I've gone before, the only problem that we ever had was just somebody who was just drunk and literally didn't know what the hell he was doing.
yeah,
Which at that point, if you know you get like that when you get drunk, just don't do it then. Don't go to a
yeah,
show and get that drunk. Like
yeah. Just get fucking plastered because you want to have a good time. Like that doesn't make for a good time for anybody.
yeah,
And
and
then you
even
fuck
then,
around and
bro,
get
like
arrested. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, or you're that drunk that when you go home and wake up the next day, you don't even remember it. Like why would you not want to remember that?
yeah, buddy, you got a problem.
Because one of the last times that we went, that was which I don't really listen to them anymore. They kind of fell off.
It's been a while
But
since I've listened to him.
but
Miracles hit and then was like,
yeah, but yeah, the last time that I went, that was the only problem we had was just a drunk dude that just he would go all the way up to the front and finish his beers and then come back and go to the bar, get more, go back up there, and he always just kept bumping into me. And I'm not very big at all, and just imagine me at 12.
yeah,
Much smaller, much lighter. He kept bumping into me and shit. My mom was like, dude, I get it. You want to go get more beers, but my son is here. Can you please go a different route?
no,
And then he did it again, and my uncle was like, you got one more time to come through here, and it's gonna be a problem. Like if you hit my nephew again, it's gonna be. I'm gonna take you out in the parking lot. And then he did it again. Shouts out to my brother. Love that man. We went through a lot. There was a hot minute where I just didn't really respect him, but bygones be bygones. It's family. I love that man. But he started coming through again. Didn't even get to me. My brother grabbed this dude by his neck and was like, I swear to God, if you hit my brother one more time, I'm going to beat you up in this crowd right fucking now. So shouts out to my brother. Could have been handled differently, but you got told nicely once. And then you got like a little not so nice second time. And the third time, my brother was just like, nah, come here. You better. That dude, needless to say, that dude did not go to the bar. He turned around, walked back up to the front of the crowd. We never seen him again.
Yeah, bro took the long way around. He was like, "Fuck, dude,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to get beat
yeah.
up."
And I mean, not that my brother's tough or nothing, but you've seen my brother. He's a pretty big dude,
Yeah, I mean
and he
it.
just wrangled that dude up.
Yeah, I mean it kind of goes back to what we were talking about, dude. Like people go to these places and they're in public and stuff, and they put on a. There's, people have a certain perception of them, and you think, well, not you specifically, but like those people will go to these places and they think that it's okay to act in a certain way or act a
Right.
fool, and it's not. Like it's not okay. Like regardless of what you see on TV or whatever, a lot of it with shows and stuff in mind, a lot of those shows are pretty, like, for the most part,
Pretty tame.
fans are pretty, yeah, pretty tame, pretty respectful.
Well, yeah. I
Even
mean,
like we even went to an Asking Alexandria concert, way back
right,
when, and they do mosh pits and the Wall of Death and all of that
right.
shit. And even still, people are having a good time. Nobody's getting hurt. If they do, or we even think that they do,
Yeah.
everybody in the area stops. They get to their feet.
Mm-hmm.
If they're hurt, they get pushed to the whatever side the medics are going to be on, or the front.
Right. Right.
And
I've
the daisy
seen
chain of
plenty
like,
of
hey, he's hurt, let's get him up. You know.
right. I've seen plenty of videos of people in a mosh pit. Like one person falls, everybody stops, picks that person's up, see if they're good. If they're not, they push them out. Get them out, and
Yeah.
then they go right back to it.
Keep it going, dude. Like
You know.
that's the whole point. That's like the whole point of music
That's
culture.
yeah. That's how you should be. Because I mean, look. At the end of the day, right? You've got your own life. I've got my own life. That's cool. But we are both here to see these people on stage and have a good time. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt.
Yeah, we're trying to go back
So
to those lives that we have. You know what I mean? This is
right.
not
So I would,
the end of
I
it.
would, I would hope that if I was to fall down, Steven would be like, "Oh shit, let me pick this guy up," because I would hope he would pick
Uh,
me up.
and that's what sucks about certain situations. I'll talk about it a little bit. But like when there's massive crowds, and you can't get information from the front to the back or the back to the front.
Yeah.
And so the back is trying to do one thing, like push forward, and the front is just like, oh fuck, we can't go anywhere, and then it
Right. You
becomes a
get pushed
problem.
into a rail and shit.
Yeah, and then it becomes a problem, and it becomes like a massive hazard, and then it's obviously no longer fun for anybody. But I
Right.
mean, there's experts out there that understand that when you get enough people together, it starts to flow like water, right? Like
Yeah.
people become like water, and
Right.
crowds flow like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're supposed to organize venues and stuff with that in mind, with safety in
Right.
mind.
Oh yeah, and that's like louder than lights, like biggest thing, bro. You look left, you look right, you look behind you, you look forward. You see an emergency exit every time you turn around.
Yeah.
You see cops walking around. You see medics walking around. They actually, so they put it, they moved it out of the grass and they put it like in the kind of like in the parking lot of the like fairgrounds or whatever. And then they opened up one of the buildings or part of the buildings, and they literally had doctors from U of L hospital like working there.
Yeah. Like
Like
on
their job was
standby
straight
for
up,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
their job for that 4 days was like, all right, clock in, now go hit the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
And
Which
then
that is
you're
sick,
there all
dude.
day.
That like shit like that those sort of
Hmm.
safety considerations, I commend the
Yep.
people that organize that shit, man,
Oh,
because
yeah. There's only one thing that I've seen somebody say that I kind of agree with. That same part of the building was also like a sober oasis thing for like whatever, like you want to get sober because you're like filthy drunk or something,
mhm.
or like I think their main thing was like there's a lot of alcohol and shit, and people probably are trying not to do that anymore. So they're like going there to be like, hey, yeah, like help me not fucking fall back into a bottle.
Right.
And you walk out the front door of that place, and the first thing you see is Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
So a little bit fucked up. I don't think they meant to do that. I think it was just that's just ended. That's where that tent ended up being. But maybe next time they'll think about that and be like, "Oh fuck, we might have made a oopsie."
Right. We might not have thought about everything.
You know. Yeah, and I mean that shit's gonna happen when you got you know you're gonna have 100,000 people. You've got all these vendors, all these bands. You got to set up where it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's a
I mean,
lot, dude.
you got to pay a lot of money for fucking medics, cops, every security, everything. Like, there's something that you're gonna be like, oh fuck, dude. At the end of it, you're like, damn, we probably should have done that instead.
Well, it kind of goes to show that, people see a lot and people don't see a lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a lot of things that we have in mind, but because a lot of the stuff gets hyper focused on, we don't really see the things that maybe could turn into bigger things.
Right. Or you're
Like,
just not thinking of it in that time, you know?
yeah, like, for example, like a simple, like, barrier, right? A single barrier could
Right.
affect so much when there's a
Mm,
lot of pressure being put. Not just like
yeah.
physical pressure, but just in general, right?
Yeah. Well, it's good that you mentioned the barrier, right? Because so like on the main stages, you have the fronts and then the sides, so that like when people crowd surf, they can safely go down the sides and back into the crowd,
Right.
you know? But if you go to any shows now, you see that they always have somebody doing ASL to interpret the band because people still want to listen to it. Just because they can't fucking, hear anything doesn't mean they can't
Yeah.
feel the music, you know? I think they definitely could have done better with barriers of letting the people who need that actually be in that little area for that, because I did see some people talking about like I could have used that, but there was so many people crowded up near it that I just couldn't even see it.
Yeah. And yeah, it's small stuff like that that oftentimes gets sort of left in the dark.
Right. And I mean the good thing is they have a Facebook group for Louder Than Life that is ran by the people who do it, so they see a lot of that, you know.
Mhm.
So it's definitely been hopefully brought to their attention on some of the things that a lot of us seen that we would have liked
I mean,
to have been better or whatever.
I want to hope that every year it's getting a little bit better and better.
Oh
Not
yeah, it's
not just
definitely.
not just them saying it because it makes it sound
Yeah.
good or whatever, but it
Well, I mean
genuinely is
for
getting better.
for them specifically, they are, because like they moved it this year to open it up and make it bigger because they know they're growing. And then they even said like, "Hey, we listened to a lot of what y'all said and like recent ones from your post. Like, we're gonna try to do it this way to see if it's better for you, if it's easier for you."
Mhm.
So they take into consideration what they probably see a lot. I mean, if I make one post saying, you know, I don't like this, but then there's 100 other people saying they didn't like that, they're gonna see the other people before they see me,
Yeah, and
because
they're
there's a
probably
hundred other people saying it,
yeah, they're probably more likely to take it into consideration with more people saying, "Hey,
Right.
this was wrong," or "Hey, this should be changed."
Yeah, yeah. Especially if it's like I'm the only person that's complaining about the fact that this happened or this was right here instead of right there. Like, you know,
Yeah, I don't
it
know,
must be
man.
minor if only one person said something.
Yeah, or maybe that person's just being a dick and just complaining for the sake of complaining.
Yeah, yeah. Which there's a lot of people that do.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Especially when you get a bunch of people around and it's just like everybody feels entitled to complain because then we feel
Yeah,
like a sense of like control and power over the situation.
right. And see, that's the thing that gets me too is like when you have, I don't know how many people coordinate all this shit. I don't know how big their team is or nothing, but like you have all these people complaining about this and that, and like they're not as big as 100,000 people, you know.
Yeah. And that's
So,
the thing.
but
They're not seeing what the crowd sees, and
right,
vice versa,
but
right? You're like us as a crowd, we're not seeing what the staff members see,
right,
so we don't know exactly what they're
hmm
going through and what they have to do
exactly,
X, Y, and Z.
right. And I think some people just look over the fact that like they complain about something and they're like, "Oh, well, the coordinators didn't do nothing to prevent this," but like maybe they did, and it was more just like you could have helped also prevent it, and you didn't.
I think,
An example: letting people fall and not helping them up.
yeah, I was about to say when you go to any gathering at all with a lot of people, or even just like a fair amount of people, it doesn't even have to be a lot. Everyone has to be treated like the eyes and ears of safety.
Yeah,
Like even you go to a fucking family reunion and you're talking to
right.
family members that you've never talked to for years or maybe even
hmm
never met. If somebody goes down, you're going to help them out.
Right.
You
I
have to
hope you
treat the
would.
yeah, yeah, hopefully. But you have to treat gatherings the same way, right? Like the
Mhm.
person that's a quarter mile away isn't going to see what you're seeing when you're seeing someone fall to the ground because they fainted.
Right. Which, like, you saying that somebody came up out of there was a guy sitting in front of me on his phone, like he was like back and forth on his phone, and then he was just sitting there for a while. But like I could tell like he was okay because I seen him on his phone for like 20 minutes on and off. You know what I'm saying? So I knew he was fine. He was looking around at people, and then I don't know. I guess he was so tired he just started falling asleep or something.
Mhm.
But like medics came and checked on him, and then they walked away without him. So he must have been like, "Nah, I'm straight. I'm just tired. I'm just taking a break. What have you." So I just left it be. You know what I'm saying? And then I see other people come up and check on him, and in my head, I'm like, they're probably looking at me like, "You've been standing in front of this guy this whole time and haven't checked on him." But I didn't need to. He
Yeah.
looked fine to me. I saw medics, literal medics, walk up to him, crouch down, and be like, "You good?" Blah blah blah. I couldn't hear him, but I can only imagine like, "Are you okay? Do you need some help? We need to get you out of here."
Yeah.
And then they walk away without him. So I'm gonna take his word of I'm okay because the medics walked away. You know?
Yeah. And again, like it all fucking stems back to the same thing. Like we don't
Right.
see what other people see,
Yeah.
and it's
Exactly.
and you can't sit here and blame someone for not doing anything when you actually don't know,
Right.
right? You don't know for certain if someone has intervened or
Right. Yeah. Or even I don't actually know he was okay, but I'm just taking the fact that medics walked away from him without him. That he
I mean
must have
that
been okay.
that's a good assumption. If a doctor comes up to me, more than likely they're gonna ask me, "Hey, are you fine? Are you good?" And if they
And then I
walk away
see the
without
medic walk
me,
away.
yeah,
Yeah.
they walk away
I
without me,
see
then I'm
you.
probably good.
Yeah. I see you stay there, and the medics not take you. Well, he must be okay then.
And for example, right, this event that we worked, literally the same thing that you just talked about. We were walking around and there's rides and stuff, and there's beer everywhere and shit. So
Right.
you got people that are getting drunk, you got people that are riding rides, whatever. And we we do a lap, and we um, walk past this girl, and this guy is like crouched down next to her, and she's just kind of like sitting on the ground with like her knees tucked to her chest. And I just kind of stare at her for a second. Now, like obviously they're sort of tending to her, making sure she's good. And I look at the guy that was walking with me. I was like, hey, what's going on? Because like we're acting as like event staff.
Right.
And so we're talking to him, and I'm like, I think maybe she just like got too fucked up or whatever, and she just had to like sit down. He was like, that could be it, or maybe she got sick from one of the rides. But the people that were with her ended up picking her up. She started walking away. She wasn't stumbling, so she wasn't drunk or anything. So more than
Right.
likely it was like maybe she got like a vertigo, or maybe she got
Yeah.
sick from one of the rides or whatever.
Right. She just didn't feel good at that moment.
So it was like, and all of those people that were involved, they didn't know that we were looking at her. They didn't know that we were aware, somewhat aware of the situation.
Right, like literally about to go check on her, you know?
Yeah, but like before we intervene, and that's sort of the thing that I was kind of getting at. Before we decided that hey, we're going to intervene, we're going to see how it plays out. Because as of
Right.
right now, there's no life-threatening anything going on.
Right, you don't feel the need to have to step in, you know?
Exactly.
She's
So
not passed out on the ground or, you
yeah,
know?
so it's unnecessary to have a bunch of people in one area when this can be solved sort of internally between them.
Right,
And if it was a case where she was like sick or something, I hope that she would have like either left or maybe got food or something and
right.
got felt better.
Went and got some water, what have you.
Exactly. But like it just it kills me how many people complain or they'll say things and they don't take into consideration how many other people are involved in the situation even if they don't see them.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had scenarios like that at work where a lot of people were complaining about the bosses or whatever, and I've seen the side of like what the bosses what my bosses deal with,
Right,
and those other people that are complaining haven't. And so that's all
right.
they're doing is they're complaining about, oh, this is bullshit, this is this, whatever, I'm tired of doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, you're threatening these like scenarios, but at the same time, you're not looking at both sides. You're not looking at the other side. Now, I get your
Right,
shit sucks. I fully understand that
right.
because I relate more to you than I do to them. But you
But your
also have
boss is probably sitting in that office going, "This shit sucks."
exactly like it sucks for them too, right? Like
I'd
it's
rather be with them.
yeah, exactly. So it just people aren't seeing all of the entire story, and they're in some cases there can't be full transparency. Sometimes it has to be just like, all right, this is my job. I'm gonna worry about my job. I'm not gonna bother you with my job because it's not yours,
Yeah,
right? Like it can't always be this is what I'm dealing with, so this is what you have to deal with.
right,
It's that's just not always the case. So it's
right. Well,
important it's
I
important
think
that
some
like we think about all of the things, all of the little bits and moving pieces. Otherwise, we're gonna get lost in this fucking sea of bullshit that we're just like we have blinders on and
right.
we're not thinking about it.
Also, I don't think some people like see it as like you can't do your job without your boss doing their job. You know, that's not always the case, but you know what I mean. Because like in
Exactly.
my case, like I can do my job without my boss, whether he's there or not, because he's not the one that writes the estimates or anything like that. You know, he does if we need him to. Like said estimator or said writer is out for the day or what have you, he'll step in and do it. I mean, like I'm not gonna get paid if he's not there putting it in. You know,
Yeah. You know what I mean? So if he doesn't do his part, then obviously you're not going to be
I'm not gonna want to do my part.
right. Yeah.
You know, but like especially in like in some jobs where like your boss is fucking very crucial to what you do. You know, you can't do your shit without them doing their shit. You know,
Yeah. And if you're still able to operate normally or halfway normally, you got to give somebody some credit for that. You
right,
can't just say that it's just because I showed up to work today. Like no,
right,
it doesn't. I was refraining from saying this, but the world doesn't revolve around you as a person.
no,
It doesn't. It takes
no,
multiple hands, multiple people
right,
to continue whatever you're doing, right? Like it's just
yeah,
not gonna happen alone, and you can't sit here and put
yeah.
blame. You can't put all the credit on yourself and then put all the blame on someone else when it goes wrong.
Yeah. I mean, look, a company's not going to run itself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You're not going to build a building and then the building just start putting
Making
out shit.
yeah, making money, making product, whatever it is.
Yeah. Like, well, what's in the fucking building? Who's in the building? You know? Oh,
Exactly.
nobody. The building just does it. No way. No way.
That's crazy.
Like,
That's I would have never thought. Really, would
yeah,
have never thought.
you're a wizard building.
You're a wizard building. Yeah, exactly. Just fucking popping out services and products like
Right.
crazy.
And I mean, that's not to say that there isn't bosses out there that like literally do absolutely fucking nothing, you know? Because
Yeah,
they are out
yeah,
there and that company could run without them, if not better without them. But,
yeah.
like in a case like yours, those people bitching about your boss, well, how are you going to know what to do, where you're going today, what event you're going to, if it wasn't for him?
Exactly.
Because somebody told him like, hey, send send these people to here, send these people to there, have them do this and that, you know.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to give credit to both sides too, right? Because it's easy to it's easy to make well, I don't want to say it's easy to make the schedule and, figure out where everybody's going to be. Sometimes that's hard. Oftentimes that's hard.
Especially depending on how many people you have to schedule. And
Right. But um the point being is like when you're out doing whatever you're doing, you're not thinking about those things. Those are things that you don't have to think about. And it's
right,
because somebody else did it before you.
yeah, they thought about it for you.
And it's not just about the schedule cuz like in my mind I'm hearing people like being like, "Well, no, it's this, it's that, X, Y, and Z, whatever." It's not just about
Yeah,
like the schedule. It's about all of the other little things that build up to make the thing go, right? Like
right,
you're not gonna have a car that just has a fucking gas tank and assume that it's
yeah,
gonna go. It's not. It's not how it
right,
works. It needs all of its other little moving pieces and parts and all of this other shit.
right,
So you
right,
can't sit here and be like, okay, I'm one of the tires. You can't sit here and be like, well, this job fucking sucks, and I think I could probably do it on my own, or maybe I just don't want to do it at all.
yeah. Well, have
You
you
know what I
tried
mean?
being a piston?
Exactly, right? Like there, exactly. That that's a good point. Like until you're in the position to be able to make those kind of decisions and see those
Right.
problems, you
And
can't really give a good opinion.
And you know what? Some of those people that complain about, more specifically, about their bosses, probably couldn't even do their boss's job.
Sometimes no.
Yeah.
There's some people that I firmly believe or that I've been around and I've worked with, not at just this current job, but at previous jobs. There's some people
Right.
that like have valid complaints
Yeah.
and could totally step into those shoes.
Right.
Whether they'd be able to mentally handle it or not, I don't know.
Right.
But they
But I've no,
totally
I've
have the
definitely,
ability to do it.
yeah. But I've definitely seen people that like bitch about just everything about their boss or anything specifically, whatever. But and then let's just say the scheduling, right? Let's say they get that position, they don't even know how to make a schedule.
Yep. Never looked at fucking Excel in their life,
Right.
and they're just
Like,
like,
how do you do this? Like,
uh,
so yeah, the boss's job was easy, you know.
right.
And that's not the case every job, because I mean, in my opinion, my job can be harder majority of the time than my boss's job, but that's only because of the labor, right?
Yeah.
Not because of looking at emails and scheduling this and that and talking to
Yeah.
these people, like, because honestly, like when it comes to like customer service, I don't have to do that, but he might have to do that. And if this irate guy comes in here bitching, I'm not the one who deals with it, you know.
I've been reading a book, and it sort of falls into this category that we're talking about with like perception and like what to care about. But it's Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and great book by the way. Fucking definitely go check it out if you like reading. Um, but basically, a good sort of thing to follow is like you get to pick your own problems. You get to choose your problems in life. You're gonna
Right.
have problems. Like if you don't have problems, then you're probably like dead. But
Right.
you're gonna have problems in life, and the whole point of like having them is like because happiness comes from solving them, not from not having them.
Right.
But like with that being said, like picking your problems, right? You get to choose what you deal with, and oftentimes people don't really think about that. They're just like, oh, this job is gonna be great, but they're not thinking about the problems that are coming with it.
Right.
Oh, having kids is gonna be great, but they're not gonna think
Hmm.
about the problems that come with it.
Oh yeah.
You know, the
I mean,
things that you
I
have to
see
deal
that
with.
shit with my job. It's a great job. It's a great like skill to have because it can pay you damn good. Because at the end of the day, you make your own paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
To an extent. But when you just look at it like that, for what I just told you, you don't see half of the shit that I go through to make that happen.
Exactly.
You know?
Like there's you you choose your problems. You choose what you want to give a fuck about.
Right.
And that's kind of the glory about having like a life. You know what I
Right.
mean? You get to choose the things you want to deal with. Do you want to choose with like having to worry about putting food on the table every day, or you want to choose to deal with fucking some Karen that her
Hmm.
coupon didn't work,
Right.
right? Like pick your poison.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it, but what do you want
Hmm.
to deal with?
Right. Because I mean, dude, even with like my job, there's sometimes like you don't quote unquote actually like lose money, but there's money not earned because you took longer than it was supposed to take on paper,
Right.
which that's another conversation that
That's
I
part
don't
of
know.
it though. That's sometimes it
Yeah.
happens.
Well, that's like so, to like quickly say it right. So like the like program software or whatever like that we use to estimate the time to fix said thing says that it'll be let's say 8 hours, but then the insurance company's like, nah, you can do it in 4. Like, nah, bro, it says 8, you're giving me 8.
Yeah.
And that's where sometimes you would, money not earned because it did actually take you 8 hours, but they only paid you for 4, you know?
Yeah, they try to say some
And
bullshit.
that's what I mean by like a whole nother conversation. Yeah.
And to apply the same thing, the insurance company doesn't see what you guys have to deal with.
Oh fuck no. Dude.
Now, I'm not saying that there
Oh
may
man.
not be people that work there that have been in that business before. Maybe
Right.
that's the case. But when they make a quote, when they give you a quote, they're not looking at what you're dealing with. They're not
Hmm.
looking at the physical thing in front of
They
them.
ain't never they've never done it. They don't even know how to start it.
Exactly. So they're giving you a
Yeah.
bullshit quote based on
Right.
prior what's the word?
Yeah,
Prior
jobs or
claims or whatever. Yeah.
right. Well, they're also probably like, oh, well, it's only just a few bolts and a few screws. It's like, yeah, well,
And then
yes
it
and no.
and then it becomes like a much bigger job than what you had expected.
Right. I mean, look, dude, like, so if you change out a fender, or as like some people in the UK, Lucinda, like to call it, they call it a wing over there.
A
But,
wing.
yeah, they call it a wing. But anyway, when
I'm
you change
sorry,
that
but a
out,
wing is on a plane. Continue.
yes, but when you change that out, you've got, let's say, two, three, four, five, like let's just say 10 at most. I'll like just kind of imaginary count it in my head there. Just say 10 at most, right? And they're like, oh, it's we'll give you an hour to replace it. They're like, all right, bet, that's easy. You know what I'm saying? But then you put it on, it comes wonky, or it kind of warped when it got painted from being in that hot ass box. And then when you go to put it on, you'll spend an hour lining it up. I've spent like an hour and a half with my father-in-law who has been doing it 30 years trying to get this fender to line up to where it looked at least good enough to pass.
Right.
Spent like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. So yeah, it'd take an hour to replace it, but if you want it to look good, it's going to take more than an hour. But sometimes that's just like you just got to kind of take that L, you know?
Yeah.
sometimes it's just literal bullshit that you know, I told you I wanted 8 and you gave me 3. Like, no, 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 no. I will let this car sit. How about that? You know, which my father-in-law has done a couple of times. Like, nope, you're gonna fix it, or I'm not gonna fix it.
Like this won't be a thing if you don't give me the adequate amount of time.
It'll sit because it's gonna take me more than 4 hours. You know, especially when it comes to repairs. But like, it is what it is. But I mean, you're right. Like, some of those people have actually been in this in this field and have seen both sides. So they put in a claim, they send it to us, and they're like, yeah, okay, I've done it a couple times when I used to do that shit. So yeah, it does take about that, you know.
Yeah.
But like when our software is telling you it's going to take this long and we're going to have to do this and that, and then we send it off to you and you send it back, it's like, who are you, bro? Like, and when it comes down to really, is just the insurance company trying to be fucking cheap. Let's
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
It's They don't want to pay that, even though the person's car that you're fixing gives you X amount of dollars every month, every year, for X amount of years.
Yeah.
So, side note, anybody in America, do not use Geico. Geico's fucking garbage. They're cheap as shit. Don't use them. Go somewhere else. For my sake, please go somewhere else.
As a collisions management expert right here.
Please go somewhere else. Please. Well, it's also fucked up because, like, very rarely, if we don't have nothing, which doesn't happen a lot, it really just depends on where the insurance company sends it, where they send the job to. But, like, sometimes they'll only send us, like, 4 cars that week. And, like, that's really not shit. That's not making no fucking money. And then we'll get lucky to where, like, the guy who does the State Farm claims, all his people are like, they're like full, bro. They're like, we could take another one, but it'd be a lot. Like, you want to just see if somebody else wants it, and if
Mhm.
not, then I'll take it. And then they'll give it to us, and then he'll give us the car. We'll do our shit. You know what I'm saying? He'll be like, all right, well, show me what's broke. Blah 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 blah. He'll come back and he'll be like, this is what it says in the system, and this is what you're getting paid. Bet. Literally no hassle at all. He does the hassling. We don't have to do no fucking, hey, yo, bro, why the fuck does it say 8 and you're only giving me 4? Well, that's what they approved. Nah. Because the other guy that does State Farm specifically, he's like, nah, I'll tell them take their fucking car somewhere else. This shit says 8. I'm paying my guy 8. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, he'll just send it again. He'll send the exact same one again and be like, "Oh yeah, that's what it's supposed to be." So if they knock it down, he's like, "Nope, here, the same one. Approve that." But every time we've gotten a job from him, it says 8 in the thing. We got paid for 8. Like, why is it such an issue from just the one specific company? And it's because they're fucking cheap.
It's because they want something for nothing.
Right.
You want good work with not good money.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a big thing of them not seeing it from the other side, because they're fucking looking at it like, well, it doesn't matter to me. I'm getting paid regardless. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm getting paid regardless too, but now I'm making less and doing more.
Yeah. You're not getting what you're worth.
Right. Like, I just did the same thing 2 jobs ago and got paid more than what you're trying to fucking pay me now. Like, no, dude, fuck that.
Yeah.
You're hurting my paycheck now. Fuck your paycheck when it comes to that.
Like, bro, you're on salary. I get paid by the job. Like,
Dude, and right. And then look, like, regardless of that, bro, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, you can buy a used door and it'd be fine, but like, why are you being so cheap about it when the customer's car, like, the customer is literally paying you in hopes that you just do your job right?
yeah, and get my shit fixed. Like, that's the whole point.
Right. and then the customer's not going to see none of anything that we deal with. All they see is I dropped it off, I signed my name, I paid my deductible, my car's fixed.
Yeah,
You know,
they get the easiest view of everything. It's just
right?
drop it
For
off, pick it up.
most
You know.
cases, right? Because they might be like, oh, well, that needs to be fixed too, and then their insurance company's like, no, we're denying that. Which
Yeah.
like, then what do I pay you for? But like, yeah, most of the time they're just like, here's my keys, here's my name, it's done, thank you, it's fixed. They go about their business. And then I'm still in there fighting over fucking 2 hours. You know?
Going back to the point, and I like you really just like fucking sent it home right there. We don't see behind the scenes of everything
Mm-hmm.
that makes our lives run smoothly.
Right.
Like in order for you to have a good quality of life, there is so many people working behind the curtain that if like the moment you look behind there, you're just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And if you're any decent human being at all, you'll be like, okay, damn, I respect these people. Like I hell yeah, like they're making my life a lot easier and I love it, you know? You ain't got to be
Yep.
friends with them to know that they're making your life better.
Right. I mean, it also sucks in some of the sense too, because like if we got to replace a window, like you're kind of fucking the company that we pay to do our glass. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we pay them regardless, but it still has to get put on the estimate because the insurance company still has to pay for us to pay the people to do the glass. But
Right. You're just kind of
you know,
money's just switching hands in weird ways and when that comes.
right? Yeah, it's literally just like
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, yeah, and then even like you were saying, like with all these little fucking gears and making it run smooth. You're not making it run smooth by doing this and that. You're making me not want to run smooth at all. You're making me want to just drain the oil.
Yeah.
Like, like fuck, dude.
Fuck. I don't know, man. I think the point to this should be that people need to step back away from their like self-centered entitledness.
Right. Open your eyes a little more.
Yeah, and just kind of see, just kind of think about what it takes to make you you.
Right.
You know, you go every morning to the fucking Starbucks and you get your little coffee or whatever. Just look in the drive-through window. Just look in there.
Yeah.
All of those
Don't look at the
people in
person
there.
handing you.
Yeah, all of those people in there are making your life a little easier. And
Right.
I think you should appreciate that a little more. I think we all
Yeah.
could do a little bit of more appreciating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with that being said, that's about all I got.
Episode 3 was a banger. Nobody cried.
Nah, not yet.
Not this time. Anyway, I love each and every one of you. Have a better day than you did yesterday and today.
Love you, bye.
Love you. Bye.